Everyone knows Messi and Ronaldo as the greatest footballers of all time. But what if their rivalry wasn't just about fame, goals, and glory? What if it was a curse handed down by legends before them? A secret match buried in darkness, where the final whistle never blows. This is the story FIFA never told you. The rivalry that was never meant to end. Welcome to the game that feeds on greatness. Welcome to the dark side of Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo's eyes snapped open. The pitch was gone. He was lying in a narrow corridor of cold, damp stone, wearing his full kit, soaked in sweat and something thicker. Blood. Not his. The air was sour, heavy with rot. A single flickering bulb buzzed above, its light barely enough to push back the thick darkness crawling toward him from both ends of the hallway. Footsteps echoed. Not his. He stood, slowly, heart pounding like a war drum. He called out, "Messi!" No answer, just a whisper, a breath against his ear. His below. Ronaldo turned. No one, just a rusted door marked with a number, 10. He pushed it open. Inside was a stairwell spiraling down into pitch black. With no better choice, he descended, each step a groan of metal and memory. On the walls, carvings, portraits of players, their faces twisted in agony. Underneath each one, a jersey number and year. All of them legends. All of them disappeared before their time. Near the bottom, he saw it. Lionel Messi, jersey number 10. Year, infinity. The stairs ended in a subterranean arena. Stone pillars lined the edges, decorated with tattered flags soaked in old blood. In the center, a circle, like a ritual site, marked by burn marks and clawed gouges. And in the center of that, Messi. He knelt, unmoving, eyes open but blank, as if staring into a world far beyond this one. Ronaldo rushed forward. Leo. No response. Only the circle trembled, faintly, and the torches along the wall ignited in sequence, bathing the room in red. Suddenly, the walls shook. The air buzzed. A guttural voice roared from nowhere and everywhere. The trial begins. Stone arms erupted from the floor, gripping Ronaldo and dragging him backward, locking him into a ring of bone. Chains slammed shut across his chest and limbs. He struggled, but couldn't move. Messi stood now, eyes glowing again. But not blue, pure black. Then came the whistle. It wasn't human. It sounded like a banshee's cry, screeching through the arena, curdling blood. From the shadows, a referee stepped forward. But it wasn't a man. It was a thing. Tall, skeletal, wearing a referee's uniform stitched from human skin. His head was a goat skull with burning coal for eyes. Around his neck, dozens of whistles, each one a soul. Half-time is over. It growled. Messi began to move, not walking, floating. He raised one foot. The ground under Ronaldo erupted. A demon burst forth, horned, armored, clutching a twisted ball. It hissed and threw the ball at Ronaldo's face. Instinct kicked in. Ronaldo jerked his head and caught the ball with his chest. The chains around him burned at the contact, loosening slightly. His veins turned black, but his mind cleared. He could still fight. In a flash of light, the chain shattered. He stood, breathless, and faced Messi, his oldest rival, his only equal, now possessed by whatever ancient force ruled this place. "I don't want to fight you," Ronaldo said. But Messi responded with a voice that wasn't his. "He must fall. I must rise." The game resumed. The ball twisted, floated, screamed as they passed it. Every dribble, every kick, tore at the fabric of reality around them. Ghosts of old players danced around the edge of the arena. Puskas, Best, Boggio, crying out in warning or celebration. Messi struck the ball. It split in mid-air, transforming into a serpent of flame. Ronaldo dodged, barely, but his shoulder ignited. He rolled to extinguish it, then rose with eyes like obsidian. Now they both glowed. Not black, not red, purple. The cursed power was growing in both of them now, equal, unstable. In that moment, Messi hesitated, just slightly. A flicker of himself shone through his darkened face. Ronaldo saw it. He struck the ball, not at Messi, but at the stone altar behind him. Crack! The circle shattered. The arena trembled. collapsing in on itself. Screams filled the darkness. The referee bellowed in fury, shattering into ashen bones. The darkness screamed, "Fools! You cannot break the cycle. UAE the cycle." Ronaldo lunged, grabbing Messi's arm as the floor gave way. The two were sucked into a vortex, down, down, into blackness, falling together, falling forever. Darkness, endless. Then, grass. Ronaldo landed hard, coughing dirt and ash from his lungs. The sky above him was black, full of swirling clouds and occasional streaks of red lightning. The stadium he found himself in looked like a twisted version of Camp Nou, except the stands were infinite, filled with silent, faceless figures dressed in the jerseys of fallen legends. No cheers, no chants, just watching, waiting. Beside him, Messi stood, eyes flickering back and forth like someone fighting off a nightmare. His face was pale, twitching. The darkness that once possessed him still lingered like smoke around his skin. Ronaldo looked up. A scoreboard hovered in the sky. Messi, 666. Ronaldo, 666. Extra time, infinity. Then a voice, not from the sky this time, but from within him. "Welcome back, champions." The pitch beneath them shifted. The grass began moving like hair underwater. The ball reappeared at the center circle, pulsating like a heart. Every thump echoed across the massive stadium like a war drum. Messi's eyes opened. They were normal, human. He sat up, disoriented. Where are we?" "You don't remember?" Ronaldo said, stepping back. "You tried to kill me." Messi blinked. His hands were trembling. "No, I wasn't in control. Something was inside me, something old." The ball began to roll toward them. On its surface, faces appeared, screaming, sobbing, begging. The souls of fallen players. Those who had played this match before. They were next. A whistle screeched from nowhere. The game had resumed. The two men looked at each other, and without a word, they ran. Not away, toward the ball. No more fighting each other. The real enemy wasn't either of them. It was a game itself, the curse that turned legends into prisoners, rivals into weapons. The only way to end it was to beat the game together. They passed fast, precise. The ball hissed and burned with each touch. The pitch warped beneath their feet. Sometimes they ran on grass, sometimes on ash, sometimes on human skulls. Sometimes they were children again. Sometimes they were old. Time bent around them. The crowd remained silent until a goalpost rose from the center circle, twisting, screaming, its crossbar open like a mouth filled with steel teeth. The ball floated, then burst into flames, circling above their heads. A shadow emerged from the net, human-like, cloaked, its face wrapped in bandages, bleeding from the eyes. It wore a number 7 jersey, ancient and torn. George Best. Behind him, Cruyff, Maradona, Garrincha, Di Stefano. One by one, all the greatest players emerged, reanimated as puppets of the game. Lost souls, now defenders of its eternity. Ronaldo and Messi stared down their childhood idols, now walking corpses. Best spoke first. His voice came from everywhere and nowhere. "You cannot escape. We tried. We failed. You'll join us." Ronaldo clenched his fists. "We're not here to escape." Messi stepped beside him. "We're here to end it." Then began the final match. The cursed 11 spread out across the field. Each movement echoed with thunder. Their eyes glowed, their bodies stitched together by chains of light and shadow. Messi passed to Ronaldo. Ronaldo back to Messi. Each moved faster than the last, dodging flying boots, dodging blooded tackles that came with a scream. Maradona lunged at Messi, mouth open like a shark. He ducked, spun, and passed. Best tried to shatter Ronaldo's knee with a diving challenge, but Ronaldo leaped over him, twisting midair and firing a shot at the net. It hit the post. The ball exploded. Everything turned to ash. Then reformed. The game reset. Same place. Same score. 666 to 666. Extra time. Infinity. Messi fell to his knees. "It's no use. We're trapped." But Ronaldo stared at the scoreboard. Then he noticed something. Every time they tried to win, the match reset. But what if they lost? We need to score in our own net, Ronaldo whispered. Messi looked horrified. You mean? Yes. Give the game what it wants. Feed the beast, then stab it when it's full. Messi hesitated, but then nodded. They pass again, this time backward. The ghostly players roared, shrieking like banshees as they chased. One tackled Messi. His ankle cracked, but he paused before hitting the ground. Ronaldo reached the opposite net. The shadows around it pulsed. The goal was alive. He fired. Own goal. The stadium screamed. Not in celebration. In rage. The sky cracked. The grass turned to fire. The crowd in the stand stood, all at once, revealing eyeless faces and mouths stitched shut. The scoreboard shattered. The game began to collapse. The ground split open. A chasm of molten memory tore through midfield. The ghost players wailed as they were pulled down, piece by piece, into oblivion. Ronaldo dragged Messi away from the edge. They sprinted. Flames licked at their boots. The sky fell in chunks. The ball remained, floating, beating. Messi limped toward it. Ronaldo followed. They touched it together. The world stopped. They stood now in a white room, infinite, silent. Before them, a boy, small, alone, holding a football. He looked like both of them, and neither. He spoke. You beat the game, but the game never dies. It only moves on. Ronaldo stepped forward. What are you? The boy smiled. I am football. I am the obsession, the curse, the glory. You fed me. You made me eternal. He held out the ball. One of you must take it, or the world forgets you ever existed. Silence. Messi looked at Ronaldo. Ronaldo looked at Messi. One of them had to disappear. The white void stretched endlessly in every direction. There was no sound, no wind, no past, no future. Just them, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and the boy holding the cursed ball. The boy's eyes shimmered like mirrors. In their reflection, trophies, victories, tears, stadiums, entire careers looping infinitely. But beneath all that, a black undercurrent twisted like a shadow behind his pupils. Something ancient, inhuman. He held the ball out again. His voice was calm, almost kind. One of you must take it. The other must be erased. Messi clenched his fists. Why? Because balance demands it, the boy said. The world was not meant to remember both of you. That was a mistake. Two flames burn too brightly. The cycle cannot end unless one light goes out. Ronaldo's breath was shallow. His mind raced. All the goals, the finals, the nights in Madrid, the Ballon d'Or battles, every moment crafted from blood, sweat, and pain. Messi stared at the ball, then at his own reflection in the boy's eyes. He saw himself scoring for Barcelona, crying in Qatar, holding Antonella, his kids, his dream. If I take it, Ronaldo asked, what happens to Leo? Gone, the boy replied, as if he never existed. No memory, no statue, no story, no name. And if he takes it, then the same for you. Messi and Ronaldo locked eyes, not as rivals, but as men. Then Messi whispered, maybe the world will be better without remembering either of us. The boy smiled darkly. That is not an option. Suddenly, the void shook. The shadows began to bleed through the edges of whiteness, creeping like ink through paper. The game, the curse, was awakening again. You must choose, the boy hissed. His face began to flicker, his skin cracked, showing a skull beneath. Now! Then, something happened. They moved at the same time. Both lunged for the ball. But instead of grabbing it, they touched each other's hearts, one hand over the other's chest. Not in violence, but in respect. The ball shattered. So did the boy. He screamed, a sound of collapsing stadiums, of torn nets, of fans crying in agony, and exploded into 1,000 shards of light. The void collapsed. Somewhere, in the real world, the Camp Nou stood silent, empty. Floodlights flickered. On the pitch, there were no players. Only two statues, one of a man frozen mid-dribble, the other mid-celebration. Their faces were cracked, unrecognizable. No plaque, no names. No one remembered who they were. At a newsstand in Madrid, an old man picked up a football magazine. He flipped through pages. No mention of Messi. No mention of Ronaldo. The cover read, Mbappe and Holland, the greatest rivalry of all time. The man blinked. Something inside him stirred, a sadness with no cause, a void in his memory, a name on the tip of his tongue that he could never speak. Meanwhile, in a forgotten stadium, in a realm between realms, two boys played football under a gray sky. They laughed. They passed. They celebrated each other's goals. One wore number 10. The other, 7. They had no memory of who they had been. But they were happy, and the game was over. For now.